You can support me on Patreon for just $1 a month.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Christian and a Horror here. Happy Friday the 13th. We are doing the ultimate full Friday the 13th franchise ranking right here on Friday the 13th. I'm rocking my Part 5 mask like I always do on Friday the 13th, so let's get started. Alright, the last movie, or the number 13, if you will, or number 12, coming in last is Jason X. It is what it is. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I just don't think it's that great. I mean, it's okay, you know, but as far as the whole series, I do think it's the worst, so I'm going to call it the worst. Jason X. Next in line is Freddy versus Jason. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we're already in the good. Jason X is the only one I really just don't think is a very good movie. Freddy vs. Jason is not bad. I just wish it would have been made 10 years earlier in that kind of world instead of the early 2000s world. I'm not a big fan of that time period as far as movies go. So that's my biggest complaint, is just it being made 10 years too late. The next one, Friday the 13th, the remake. My biggest gripe with this movie is simply put like this. Jason would never take a prisoner, so I don't like that Jason took a prisoner in this movie. That's my only complaint. It really is. Coming up next, this is going to be very controversial. Friday the 13th, the original. Like I said, we're in the clear. We're in the good movies at this point. But I will say, as great and as iconic and as important as this movie is, the mother thing just doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't scare me. I respect it all day long. I'm just more of a fan of Jason than Pamela. So this movie, it just isn't my cup of tea. Or the killer is. Next, we got Jason Goes to Hell. You know, this is a movie that I like the time period it was made. This should have been when Freddy vs. Jason was made. I like the music. I like how silly it is. It's silly in all the right places to me. You got funny side characters. You got funny characters in the movie. It's a very enjoyable movie to me. So I like Jason Goes to Hell a lot. Alright, next we have Jason Lives, Friday the 13th 6. Great movie. Love the soundtrack. Don't like the look of Jason in this movie. That's my only real complaint in this, is he just looks like a gardener. Like, he looks like he should be cutting grass and doing yard work because he's got his nice belt on. That's my biggest complaint. It doesn't look bad, but just I would have made it look different. Alice Cooper's music is awesome in this. Coming up next is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is a good one. Very enjoyable to watch. It's just, I don't cling on to this movie as much as some of the others. So, you know, there it is. So, that's Friday the 13th, Part 7. Next, we have Friday the 13th, Part 2. This is a classic. A lot of people say this is the best one, and while I don't necessarily just disagree with that, I don't grab onto the characters in this movie as much as some of the other ones. So that's really my only complaint about this one. I'm a fan of the potato sack mask. I just, it's good, you know. I just don't like the characters as much as some of the other ones. Coming up next, we have Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. Richard Brooker was fantastic in this. The characters in this one were great. I really liked a lot of the cast. The kills were good. I liked the under the floor scene where Jason stabs the guy doing the handstand. Great stuff in this one. Coming up next, I know I will get crap for this, Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm a big fan of the late 80s. I'm a big fan of the big hair, the big music, the look of Jason, the look of people in the late 80s. And this movie is just an all-time classic for me. I love Friday the 13th Part 8. I will not sit here and tell you this is the best made movie of the bunch, because it's not the best made. But as far as enjoyability, or if that's even a word, I enjoy it so much. Jason Takes Manhattan. Here we go, the last two. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This movie is so awesome, and it's about time somebody stuck up for Friday the 13th, Part 5, because it is that good to me. The look of Roy is great. The kills are great. It's such a movie it's a movie that just doesn't let up and doesn't let you have any moment of comfort in it. It's just always on edge. The characters are edgy. The characters, you don't really relate to any of the characters, and I think that's what's unique about this one. There is no character in the movie where you say, okay, well, I'm this person and I'm that person. Everybody's just weird and wild, and that's what I love about this movie. It's so sleazy, and it doesn't let up for a second. Roy's is bad to the bone in this movie, and it's about time someone stuck up for The New Beginning. And number one, I do have to say, I think it's Friday the 13th 4, The Final Chapter. The characters are great in this. Jason Ted White is the best performance of Jason I've ever seen in any of the movies. That's just my opinion, but Ted White takes the cake in this. So this is my list for ranking the Friday the 13th movies. I hope you guys enjoy this. I know a lot won't agree with it, and that's fine. But we all love the movies, and that's all what matters. We're all fans. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Happy Friday the 13th, and we'll see you guys next time.